Well, here we are with episode 5, finally. A lot has happened, and I haven't been back as soon as I would have liked to be, but it happens. Life happens. Shit happens. I got my daughter a cat, well, a kitten, right? My brother's cat had kittens, so we went up there. He's up in, where's he at? Oh boy, he's in Music, I think it's called. Music. He's a cool dude. We're about, I guess, 7 or 8 years apart. He's a cool dude. His whole family's cool. They're good people. I wish we could see him more often. I guess it's about 2.5 hours to drive without taking tolls. Because if you take tolls, it's $30. So it's been a very adventurous couple weeks. I was married before, right? So I'm happily divorced. And, I guess it's been about 2 years now, right, since I've been legally divorced. And I still was paying for her car insurance. And, which is crazy if you think about it. And I've given her quotes to try to get her own, and it just never happened. I mean, it just never happened. So, unfortunately, she got into an accident, I guess, a couple weeks ago. And, totaled the car because the airbag went off. Kind of similar to what happened to me when I totaled my girlfriend's car. And I was only going like 30. And it hit me on the side. The guy that was driving the truck hit me on the side. But once the airbag goes off, they total it most times. And there was still, quite a bit of money left on my girlfriend's car. I can't believe they totaled that. Really? They can't just repair that? It's integral to the car, the safety system, whatever. I don't know. But so she totaled her car, which means I can finally get her off the car insurance and she can get her own. But besides that, I have my other daughter with me, my oldest. And, because I'm taking her to school in the morning because she needs to get to school, on time, because that's a bit of an issue and a struggle. But some of the things that she says to my younger daughter, I mean, they just, it breaks my heart. It really does. And I try to talk to her about it, and it's coming back to the kitten that I got, my daughter. And I don't believe you should give kids pets as animals, but I mean, she deserves this in her life. She really does. My youngest, and she's proved herself to be responsible and whatnot, and taking care of what she needs to take care of. But what my oldest daughter says to her, it's pretty deep. The things that she says to her, and it's rough. It's a struggle. I tell you, it's a struggle sometimes dealing with her. My oldest. I wish it was easier. I hope it's easier when she gets older, because, man, I mean, she's not even a teenager yet, but she can be brutal. She can be brutal. Life doesn't need to be that difficult for her. But it is. It's tough. And, it hurts because, as a parent, you try to do the best you can for your kids, and you end up blaming yourself and, the divorce and whatnot. But, I mean, they're little people too. They're little persons, and they have their own needs and wants and whatnot. And they see things the way they see things, and there's not a whole lot you can do to change that. Sure, you can guide them and you can guide them the best you can, but you can't make the choices for them. You can only give them the tools to make the best choices that they can make for themselves. And even younger, like I said, they're little people, you know? But, sometimes I feel like she's got a lot of, like, hate inside of her, and I'm not sure what it is. Like she could be, I don't know, like a bigot, and it's like, wow, where does that even come from? And I feel like it's just the way that she comes across sometimes, and it's just like, man, that's just not the way to come across. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I'm not sure where she's seeing that from. Um, it's tricky, man. Life is tricky, you know? Life is tricky. I mean, it's tough. It's not so easy. It's just, I mean, it's crazy. We try to do the best we can, and we try to do the best we can for our kids. Man, I feel like I'm being redundant right now. I really do. Like I'm going over the same thing. I wanted to get back on here because it's been a while since I've been back on air. And there's just been some things that have been driving me nuts. One of the things was the car insurance. And I hate to jump onto something else, but I'm just, I'm such a pushover sometimes, like my uncle, right? I talk about him a lot because he's, you know, he's not always the friendliest guy, but sometimes he's outspoken. And sometimes I wish I could be that way, a little bit stronger like that, and tell people, what they need to be told. Like, why couldn't I tell my ex-wife to get her own goddamn car insurance? Why was that such a struggle? Like, just get your own insurance, man. I mean, as an adult, you should have your own car insurance. I just don't understand it. You're living with your boyfriend and you still don't have your own car insurance, and I'm paying for it. Wouldn't you feel funny being the boyfriend? I would feel a little funny. I would feel a little funny. You know? Ah. And I feel funny even talking about this, like I shouldn't be sharing it, but I gotta get it out. I gotta get it out. You know? I hate keeping that stuff in, man. I hate it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just wish I could just tell people what I'm feeling. Just let it out. Just be like, yo, this is enough of this. This is enough. And not be such a pushover. I don't want to be a pushover. But it's hard, because, I don't want confrontation. And I just want everything to be easy. What it is, it's being lazy. Just like I haven't been on this, I haven't done an episode in a while. It's been over a month because I'm freaking lazy. That's why. Okay? Let's just call it what it is. I'm just being lazy. And I hate it. And I hate being lazy. But I am. Sure, when I go to work, I do my job and I do the best I can at it. But when it comes to things that are really important to me, that I really want to do, and they feel good to do, like this, like acting, like doing voiceovers, I'm lazy. I make excuses. I make excuses as to why not to do it. Why not? It has to be the perfect time, and everybody's got to be asleep, and there can't be any noises. And I go to start it, and if somebody's cutting a freaking lawn, and there's the blower now. Up there's the weed whacker, and I can't do anything. But it's because I'm lazy. I should just do it anyhow. Who cares? Just do the take. Just do it. Record yourself. Let it out there. If it's no good, then delete it. Who cares? I get mad at myself. And then what? And then I fall into this depression and just sit there and not do anything about it. And your whole life starts suffering from it. Because you're not making any changes. You're not making any moves. You're not doing anything different. You're doing the same goddamn thing over and over again. But you need to wake up and just make progress one step at a time, right? One foot in front of the other. But it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to do. Life is complicated, but then it's not complicated. And then I'm struggling with money. And that has to be the whole bearing on everything. And my girlfriend today wanted to talk to me about, important stuff. About our relationship and how we're getting along and whatnot. And I can't even focus on any of that because I'm so focused on money, and paying the bills and how we're going to make ends meet. And it's just because I don't know how to control my spending. But it's not like I'm spending a lot of money on things. It's little things that I spend money on, and it beats me up. It beats my bank account up. Like right now, I'm negative. I'm negative in the bank account. Thank God my bank lets me go negative. Of course, you got to pay for it. But as long as the money goes back in a week, who gives a shit? It's like taking a loan against yourself. But I shouldn't have to. If I eventually have enough money to cover all the bills, why can't I just save that money throughout the month? And I now have a new budgeting app. I don't even remember what the hell it's called. And I thought it was cool for a while because it would tell me how much I have in my pocket right now. But it doesn't prevent me from spending anything, like this weekend, this past couple weekends, the past 2 weekends, I went up to visit my brother. And of course, I want to bring food and stuff, right? Because, I'm vegan and I got to, and I want them to try different foods. So then you end up spending money on food, like you end up getting a $30 vegan pizza. What the hell, a $30 pizza? $30! Because it's in Philadelphia. But Jesus Christ. All right, it's a pretty good pizza. But God damn it, man. It's got to be $30. It's got to be $30? Oh my God. I got a pizza place up the road from me. I think they charge, I don't know, 50 cents more or something for day of cheese. 50 cents. See that? That's reasonable. That's reasonable. But $30 for a pie? For a pizza pie? You're insane. You're freaking insane. Not to mention, you can't even park anywhere when you get it. You can't park anywhere. There's nowhere to park. But I don't feel like complaining about any of that. That is what it is. That is what it is. Although I went to Whole Foods, and I somehow missed that I bought a $10 bag of chips. $10. A $10 bag of chips. What in the world? What in the world? $10 for tortilla chips. What? Corn tortilla chips? I'm miffed. Oh, whatever. But then again, that's money. So, like, you can't even go out and get, like, chips. You can't go out and get a vegan pizza once in a while. It breaks the bank when you do that. What do I do if my vehicle breaks down, That's going to suck, isn't it? That's going to suck. Yeah, there's a lot of things ailing me right now. My daughter, she just can't be okay that my younger daughter has a kitten. No, that's not really hers. She's not responsible. She can't have that kitten. Why can't she? Who are you? You're not the rule maker. You're not the rule maker. Right? She earned having a pet. Okay, it's not, it's still a free spirit. I mean, it's a cat. It's going to do whatever it wants, but she's the cat's human mom, right? Taking care of him and whatnot. Like, who are you as the older sister to tell her what she can and can't do, or what she can and can't be? Like she can't take care of. No, you can't. Why are you putting her down? And how many times do I have to explain this over and over and over again to her? It doesn't sink. It doesn't sink in. Oh my God, the whole world needs therapy. If everybody just had enough money to pay for therapy, right? But then we'd be complaining about that. How this therapist is and how this therapist is. I mean, it's just, it's round and round we go here. It's round and round and round we go. I mean, geez, man. So sorry I got to a little bit of a slow start here, but, I did get fired up eventually because it just tends to happen. I come on this episode here and I have somewhat of a plan, but not really. I just shoot from the hip. Who cares? Anyhow. I just want everybody to be respectful. That's all. And it would make everybody's life so much easier if everybody just respected the other person opposite of them. Like my daughter, I just wish she could just respect other people. Just give them respect. Why? Don't you realize how much angst it gives everyone around you? Like it would just make everybody else's days just go a little bit easier. Stop ragging on your sister. Just worry about yourself. Worry about your own person. And try not to hurt anybody. How is that so complicated? Man. But anyhow, so we got a kitten, and the kitten's cool. He's like all white and he's got like a gray spot on the tip of his head. He's cool. He's neat. He's a good cat. I already told you I had to put my cat to sleep. She was about 17 or 18. That was about a month ago, a little over a month ago, maybe 2 months almost. And yeah, I mean, she was with me. Oof. When I got my first house and whatnot, I remember I had pictures of her hanging out in the carpet. I can't find them pictures anyway. You can't find old pictures. I had speaking of pictures, I had an old picture of I guess it was right after Halloween, and one of my best friends growing up who was no longer with us because he passed away. What does that even mean when I say he's no longer with us? Wouldn't that mean he passed away? So I had to be redundant, and he's no longer with us. He passed away. No, he's no longer with us. He actually formed a Mars colony on Mars. Yeah. So he's no longer with us here on Earth. No, he passed away. He was a good dude growing up. Got into some trouble later, but I mean, it happens to the best of us. It does. But I was at his house and I took a picture of a pumpkin after Halloween that he had on his porch, and it was flat. Now, listen, I don't like taking pictures of anything, but it was a flat pumpkin. It looked like someone put a hole in it and let all the air out of it. Like it looked like an inflatable pumpkin, but it wasn't because it smelled bad and everything. It was an actual real pumpkin, but it looked like someone flattened it. It was all wrinkly and everything. And a bunch of gnats flying around it and whatnot. Might have been using it as an ashtray at the time when we used to smoke, which I don't smoke anymore. I guess I quit in 2012 or whatever, which is funny because I was just talking to my brother about that. It's been a while. Like I don't even remember smoking. I mean, I remember smoking, but it feels like I have images of me doing it, and I remember doing it, but it would feel weird to do that now. Like that's just not me anymore, and I tried so many different ways to quit, and I ended up just quitting by not smoking. Cold turkey, that's what they call it, cold turkey, which doesn't make any sense because I don't know. But I was learning about what smoking did to your body, and it was a tough day too. I remember I got called into work, and I couldn't leave work because my wife at the time was at work, and I had the kids at home, and I couldn't leave, so I'm pacing back and forth. Like everything that could come up. I had to go into work that night as well. Right after I stopped smoking, I had my last cigarette at like 9 o'clock. I got called into work. Then I got called in the morning. Oh, it was everything that could happen to me to make me want to smoke again was happening. And I saw it. And I saw it. And I stretched it out like a ruler. And I was like, oh, look at this. Look what's going on. Let me just put that under a microscope so I don't forget what the hell is going on here, because it's trying to tempt me the whole night, the whole morning, the next day, the next 3 days. And then a week after that, because after a week of quitting smoking, your body's like, hey, you quit smoking. Why not have a cigarette in honor of you quitting smoking? Do you know what I mean? It's crazy that your body tries to reward you. Whatever. But, man, oh, man. So, yeah, that's that. I had a picture of that. I had a picture of my son when he was 4 years old riding his bike. He finally got the training wheels off for him. And he was finally starting to, when you see a child, one of your kids riding a bike and they finally got the balance down and they're weaving a little bit, but they got it and they're feeling it. And there's no way to explain that to a kid. They just have to feel it. I tried. I was like, look, you're going to just be able to feel it. But I lost that picture too. I thought I had it on a computer that I had, but no dice on that. It's all gone. So, but yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's it. I'm done. That's my rant. I want to go to bed, because like I said, I got to wait till nighttime when everybody's asleep, so nobody's listening to me, so I'm not taking anybody's time up. Oh, man. It's hard. Because you feel like, you have a dream you want to follow, and you just... And you end up getting in your own way. So that's what I end up doing. I end up getting in my own way. But, all right. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Okay? Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. See you later. Oh, my God.